I came back from my business trip earlier than expected. I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to surprise Miguel. I imagined the hug, the laugh, the "you're home, Messiah" moment. But when I turned onto our street, I saw cars everywhere, lined up in front of our house like it was a holiday. And then I saw the yard, blue and pink balloons, a big banner hanging across the garden. Welcome our little miracle. I stopped breathing. I parked a street away. My hands were shaking so bad I dropped my keys once. Then I walked up like my body was moving without my permission. The front door was slightly open. Music and laughter spilled out into the night like everything was normal. I stepped inside, and I froze. Right there in the living room was Carmen, my best friend, 6 months pregnant. My mother-in-law, Rosa, stood beside her, smiling, gently stroking Carmen's belly like she'd been waiting for this moment her whole life. My mother was passing out drinks. Gifts were stacked on a table like a little shrine to betrayal. I didn't say anything at first, because my brain was trying to explain what my eyes were seeing. I heard my Aunt Elena say, all cheerful, "So, is the nursery ready?" Carmen smiled and nodded. Almost. Miguel insisted on painting it himself. He's been working on it every weekend. Every weekend. While I was in another country working. My stomach turned. And then Miguel walked in, carrying drinks, smiling like the proud host of the year. He walked right up behind Carmen and wrapped his arms around her, both hands on her belly. And he said like this was the most normal sentence in the world. We just need to set up the crib. We picked it out together last week. Together. Last week. My mother's face snapped toward me. Her smile fell so fast it was almost impressive. She rushed over and grabbed my arm. "Anna, we weren't expecting you today," she whispered. "Let's go outside. We need to talk." I pulled my arm back. "Talk about what?" I said. "About how my husband got my best friend pregnant while I was working in another country?" The room died. Music kept playing, but nobody moved. Carmen's face drained white. Miguel stood frozen, hands still hovering like he forgot where he was. "Anna," he started. "Don't you dare," I said. I looked at him, then I looked at Carmen, then I looked at my family. "How long?" I asked. "How long have you been cheating on me?" Silence. My father stood in the corner, staring at the floor like it might rescue him. Carmen took a step forward, tears already building. "I can explain. We didn't want you to find out like this." I laughed, but it wasn't funny. "Oh? How did you want me to find out? After the baby was born? Or when they turned 18? Rosa stepped in fast. "Anna, please, think about the baby. Carmen doesn't need stress in her condition." "Her condition?" I said, and my voice got quiet. "The same condition I was in 2 years ago when I lost my baby." "Where was your concern then, Rosa?" That silence was louder than the party ever was. My mother tried to soften her voice. "Honey, I know this is difficult." "Difficult for who?" I snapped. "For me, the one who worked nonstop while my husband played house with my best friend? Or for all of you, the people who smiled in my face and kept this secret?" Miguel finally moved. He stepped toward me like he could control the room again. "Anna, can we talk privately?" he said. "Don't make a scene." I stared at him. "A scene?" I repeated. "No, Miguel. A scene would be me telling everyone how you convinced me to take that overseas job. How you said we needed the money to start our family." I turned to Carmen. "Did he tell you that?" I asked. "Or did he tell you he was lonely and abandoned while his cruel wife chased her career?" Carmen started crying. "It wasn't like that. We didn't plan this." "Of course not," I said. "I guess you just tripped and fell pregnant by my husband." People started shifting. A few guests quietly grabbed their bags. Nobody wanted to be there anymore. And that's when I realized something. This wasn't just Miguel and Carmen. This was a group project. I walked over to the gift table and grabbed a present. I held it up and looked straight at my mother. "This one's yours, Mom," I said. "You bought a gift for your son-in-law's mistress's baby." "Anna, please." she whispered. I ripped the paper open. A tiny baby outfit, white with blue details. How thoughtful, I said. I hope you kept the receipt. Miguel reached for it like he had the right. Enough, Anna. I pulled it back. You're making a fool of yourself, he said. I stepped closer. Making a fool of myself? I said. No, you did that all on your own. You got my best friend pregnant while I was paying for everything. Rosa stood up, furious. Miguel was looking for happiness you couldn't give him. You were always busy, always working. I nodded like I understood. You're right, I said. I was busy working. Working to pay the mortgage on the house where your son was sleeping with my friend. Then I looked around the room. Every face felt unfamiliar now, and I said the one sentence that finally made Miguel panic. You can keep the house, the furniture, the gifts. But Miguel, get a job. Because you won't have access to my money anymore. His face went pale. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this, I said. While I was overseas, I wasn't just working. I was also consulting a lawyer. That part hit the room like thunder. I have proof of every penny I spent, I said. On this house, on you, on our marriage. And then I walked out. I didn't cry. Not there. In the car, my hands shook so hard I could barely start the engine. My phone lit up nonstop. My mother, Miguel, Carmen. Please, Anna. We need to talk. This wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, I understood. I understood every late call. Every I miss you. Every Carmen's busy. I drove until I couldn't drive anymore and checked into a random hotel. I locked the door, collapsed on the bed, and finally let it hit me. Rage. Disgust. Grief, but the next morning I made a decision. I walked into my lawyer's office and said, start it today. Divorce, property, everything. And make it clear he won't get a single cent. My lawyer looked at the documents and nodded. The house is in your name. The payments came from you. He has no claim. For the first time in days, I felt relief. Miguel kept calling. I sent one message. Talk to my lawyer. A few days later, he found me at a café near the hotel. He looked wrecked. And he sat down like we were still a couple. Anna, please, he said. I didn't want you to find out like that. I didn't blink. How did you want me to find out? I said. With an invitation to the baby shower? He tried to cry his way out of it. I made a mistake. No, I said, you made a choice. A bunch of choices. And you let everyone protect you. He blamed loneliness, he blamed work, he blamed me. And I said, I was paying for our life while you destroyed it. Then I leaned in. We're fixing it, I said. My lawyer filed. You're not getting my money. And I want you out of my life, he whispered. Anna. It's over, I said. And I walked away. Weeks later, he got evicted. I showed up to watch the boxes hit the yard. Miguel yelling, Carmen panicking, the officer doing his job. Miguel saw me and shouted, You can't do this! I crossed my arms. I can, I said, and I did. He asked where he was supposed to go. I gave him the same answer he gave me every time I needed the truth. Not my problem. And here's the twist I didn't even have to plan. Carmen filed for divorce. She wanted alimony. From the same man who couldn't keep a job. The same man who lived off me. The same man who promised her a life he never earned. And when I heard that, I laughed. Not because I'm cruel, because reality finally matched what he deserved. I started over. New apartment, new life, no family meetings, no forgive him speeches, just peace. So tell me this. If you walked into your own home and found a baby shower for your husband's mistress, what would you do next?